Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, I would like to thank the university management for very warm reception and for this opportunity to address all of you. My intentions have been just well described, and I do want to address some of the issues related to Asia and Pacific region, but before I do this, I would like to express my deep satisfaction for being in Brunei. We have been discussing this visit for quite some time, and now it happened, and I thank my friends and colleagues for hospitality and for excellent organization of this visit. We discussed already a wide range of issues related to Russia-Brunei cooperation. We agreed that the relations have moved to a very positive stage. Political dialogue is regular and intense. We have confidence in each other, and the relations are progressing steadily, and I think we have agreed today that this potential should now be translated in practical projects in very many areas, and we will certainly follow up on this. Coming to the Asia and Pacific, I think that it becomes more and more evident that the world today has entered the stage of profound transformation, and we are witnessing the emergence of a new polycentric system of international relations. Stronger role of Asia and the Pacific in the world's economy and politics is one of the most significant manifestations of this process. Today the region is the main engine of global growth. Active integration and increased interdependence between the region's economies strengthen the resilience to external negative factors. Such driving forces of economic growth as China, India, the states of ASEAN helped the region not only to withstand the blows of the financial crisis, but also to strengthen its global positions. Amid the turbulence of the world economy and finance, the states of the region have positive economic indicators and are well prepared to counter the threat of global depression. Russia, as just been said, is an integral part of Asia and the Pacific, and the region is naturally one of our key foreign policy priorities. We have keen interest in building the regional architecture of security and cooperation, in promoting Russia's involvement in the integration processes. Our expanded participation in regional activities is welcomed by our partners, who appreciate Russia's contribution to creating conditions for stability and further sustainable development in Asia and the Pacific. And I believe that without Russia it is hard to imagine genuinely collective efforts to counter such threats as international terrorism, drug trafficking, proliferation of the weapons of mass destruction. We also get more and more involved in cooperative endeavors in the areas of energy, transport, science, technology, environment, emergency response, and dialogue of civilizations. In our relations with the states of the region, we do not have any ideological differences or historical contradictions that could not be sorted out through constructive dialogue. We promote good neighborly relations with all Asian and Pacific countries without exception, whether big or small, from countries like Japan to the South Pacific. With some countries we have relations which could be described as strategic partnership. We intend to interact closely on the international issues to develop humanitarian ties, expand people-to-people contacts. We put emphasis on establishing modernization alliances, promoting economic innovation, developing joint high-tech projects in areas like outer space exploration and other fields. Many partners, for example, your close neighbor Singapore, show considerable interest in the Russian innovation center called Skolkovo, and we are ready to deepen cooperation in the development of conventional and non-conventional energy sources, from infrastructure for oil refining and production of liquefied gas to the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. We also offer to our partners the benefits of Russia's global navigation and telecommunication system called GLONASS. Large-scale projects planned in Russia's Far East and Eastern Siberia open up very good opportunities for joint ventures. These huge Russian territories possess enormous resources, and the formation of infrastructure linking Europe and Asia will open up remarkable prospects. As far as Russia is concerned, the key foreign policy event in the region this year will, of course, be APEC summit in Vladivostok in September. We will ensure continuity of the agenda and promote additional priorities. The leaders will discuss in Vladivostok further liberalization of trade and investment, deepening economic integration, cooperation for innovation growth, improvement of transport and logistics systems, and strengthening food security. May I invite your attention to the article devoted to the forthcoming summit and its agenda, written by President Medvedev and entitled Integrate to Develop, Innovate to Prosper. This is the logo of the summit in Vladivostok. Russia is actively involved in the activities of other regional and trans-regional organizations and fora, like the ASEAN Regional Forum, the Asian Cooperation Dialogue, ASEM, Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS, and we also have Troika of Russia, India, and China, which meets regularly at the level of foreign ministers and sectoral agencies. I will highlight specifically and emphasize the important role played by the East Asian summits. This mechanism is relatively young, but it's acquiring more and more importance. Last year, Russia, together with the United States, joined this mechanism, and we participated in the summit last fall in Bali, and I have an impression that this is a very promising format and uniquely suited to discuss at the top level strategic issues of Asia and Pacific. It's a natural format for developing a holistic concept of a new security and cooperation architecture in East Asia. In September 2010, President Medvedev and President Hu Jintao came forward with a joint initiative to build a comprehensive architecture of security and sustainable development in Asia and the Pacific. And Russia and China invite all states of the region to reaffirm their commitment to the principles of equal and indivisible security, peaceful settlement of disputes, as well as to renounce confrontation and activities aimed against third countries. The goal is to create an inclusive regional security and cooperation architecture in an open, non-block format and on the basis of the rule of law in international relations. A positive response of many countries gives us hope that this initiative may become one of the unifying ideas for the Asia-Pacific region. There is a real opportunity to build upon those principles and start discussing political and legal framework for regional security, including, I would highlight this fact, including cooperative network of all bodies and organizations active in the Asian-Pacific region. It is worth mentioning that the East Asian summits were initiated by ASEAN. We have been consistently and strongly supporting the central role of ASEAN in the region and consider the association to be the key actor in designing the integration processes evolving here and agenda for this process. Deep relations with ASEAN is a priority of Russian foreign policy. Over 15 years of partnership, we have developed an intensive political dialogue and multidimensional practical cooperation. The Russia-ASEAN summits held in 2005 and 2010 provided a boost for cooperation in the future. Now, one of the key tasks is to accelerate the development of trade and economic ties. We have made some progress in the area. Trade between Russia and ASEAN reached $15 billion, having increased by almost 2/3 over the past 2 years. Of course, this is a very modest amount compared to the trade between ASEAN and its other partners. Therefore, at the second Russia-ASEAN summit in 2010, it was decided to give a new impetus to these efforts. A roadmap for Russia-ASEAN trade is being finalized. It's a roadmap for trade, economic and investment cooperation. It will provide for specific measures to expand collaboration in energy, transport, telecommunications, outer space, agriculture, and industrial production. Last year, we increased our annual contribution to the Russia-ASEAN Dialogue Partnership Financial Fund to finance important joint initiative. The fund has already been used to implement specific projects in biotechnology, renewable energy, electronic commerce, and the fund is planning to start long-term progress based on innovative potential of Russia and ASEAN members. Promotion of energy security is among the most important tasks and priorities. 5-year Russia-ASEAN Energy Cooperation Work Program was approved in 2010, and the dialogue on renewable energy sources is being launched. I would mention that Brunei plays an active part in promoting Russia-ASEAN energy and other cooperation. Russia-ASEAN senior officials meeting on energy was held in Bandar Seri Begawan in July 2011, and last October, the Minister of Energy of Brunei represented ASEAN at the International Energy Week in Moscow. Productive discussions of new promising projects took place during the visit to Brunei by the delegations of the Russian Ministry of Energy and Russian Agency for Peaceful Uses of Nuclear Energy. With deepening of integration processes, new opportunities open up. Together with Kazakhstan and Belarus as our partners in the Customs Union, we examined the possibility of establishing a free trade area with Vietnam and New Zealand. Negotiations are taking place. Should these pilot projects be successful, the expansion of this practice to the entire association of East Asian nations would certainly be an order of the day. And actually, in the article by President Medvedev to which I referred, he suggested that we would be ready to negotiate free trade agreements with all participants of APEC. Another important trend is an increase in humanitarian contacts. Russia signed the agreement on cultural cooperation with ASEAN, and the ASEAN Center opened up in Moscow. Educational and cultural exchanges are quite active. Of course, much remains to be done, and it will certainly require dedicated efforts, both at the state level and through business communities and civil society contacts. However, there is no doubt that the goals put forward at the Russia-ASEAN Summit will be achieved. Russia has no hidden agenda in the region. We are open to any form of constructive and mutually beneficial cooperation. Acting together, we will be more effective in ensuring stronger regional stability and economic growth and prosperity. Thank you very much. I am ready to take your questions.
Your Excellencies, you have given us a very concise but excellent overview of Russia's intention to be a very constructive and cooperative partner within this region. His Excellency has a short 1 hour here, but he has graciously agreed to take some questions from the floor. And so now the floor is open to, yes.
Your Excellency, I'm Khairul Haji Basir from Faculty of Business, Economics and Policy Studies, UBD, with economic major. I have a question. You talk about a new security architecture emerging in the Asia-Pacific region. What role, in your opinion, will be played by ASEAN in it? Thank you.
With ASEAN?
ASEAN-Pacific region. What role, in your opinion, will be played by ASEAN in it?
Oh, I see. Well, I already stated in my introductory remarks that we believe that this ASEAN should keep the central role in discussions related to design of regional integration process and security discussions. ASEAN basically has been initiator for all major formats which are active now, starting with partnership with individual countries outside the region and inside the region, continuing with creating ASEAN Regional Forum where security matters are discussed. And lately ASEAN, well, some years ago already, time flies, ASEAN 7 years ago, I think, initiated East Asian summits. And there is no doubt that the ASEAN role is central and that all other countries should respect this role and should encourage ASEAN to continue.
Добрый день, товарищи и женщины. Как дела, как работа, как жизнь. Меня зовут Аджанова Фуфанов. Я была в Советском Союзе. Я учился там. В Беларуси сельская Азиатская академия. В Горка это рядом Минск.
Can you stop for me to translate?
In English? Yeah. Because most of us don't speak Russian.
Okay, for the benefit of my foreign students, His Excellency, I would like to ask you, as you seek to foster and strengthen international relations, how do you intend to create and foster a mutual and beneficial relationship between our foreign students in Brunei, and your Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Soviet Union or in Russian Republic, which I think is very important.
Thank you very much. I welcome you as one of the former students who was educated in our country. And I am sure that this tradition has been kept and is going to continue. We just discussed with Minister Lim the need for more exchanges between Russia and Brunei students. In general, this area of cooperation, educational exchanges, has been long ago one of the key elements in our humanitarian ties with foreign countries. Dozens of thousands of foreign students study in Russia, and we certainly welcome more students from Brunei, and we certainly encourage Russian students to come to this wonderful university and to enjoy these sober surroundings and wonderful nature.
Next. Can you state your name first?
Your Excellency, my name is Faisal. I'm from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Success is obviously in promoting ASEAN-Russian relations. However, over 15 years of dialogue partnership, ASEAN and your country have only had 2 summits, back in 2005 and 2010. In your opinion, is there a need for a 3rd summit, ASEAN-Russian summit? Thank you.
Well, it's not the frequency of summits, but rather the actual deeds which make difference. And the summit which was held in 2010 charted the road for us for the years to come. I mentioned the important document being finalized at the instructions, on the instructions from the summit, the Trade, Economic and Investment Cooperation Roadmap. It's very specific, and it will certainly boost the exchanges between our countries. When we understand that there is a need for more guidance from the leaders, I'm sure we will recommend to them to get together and to instruct us again.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think as a moderator, I'm going to call this event to a close, as he has some other prior arrangements made. And so please join me in thanking His Excellency Mr. S.V.Lawrov for his excellent overview.